We now continue our St. Patrick's Day celebration on the Pulse as we welcome in our next guest from the Denver ESPN zone. It is Phoenix Suns veteran Jalen Rose. Now, I know you're watching. You may be wondering how the name Jalen or Rose really fits into the Irish theme. If you were watching and saw Dennis Green earlier, the coach said Wild Irish Rose, so we're just going to go with it. Jalen, welcome in. How do you like Coach Dennis Green's nickname for you, Wild Irish Rose, just to go with St. Patrick's Day?
I don't know. I'm going to have to talk to Coach about that. I got to kind of get used to that one. That's the first time I've heard that one.
It might be the last as well. Now, we saw, as we could see you in the ESPN zone. We know you're at the zone. We saw you looking up a little bit ago. You watching Ohio State? Look, you're a Michigan guy, so you cannot be hating Ohio State losing to Xavier, are you?
Am I watching? I'm sitting here rooting against Ohio State to actually be beat by Xavier, just like I was rooting against Duke along with Rasheed Wallace, Dale Davis, and Chris Webber the other day to root against Duke. So at the end of the day, tournament time is the best time of basketball in March, and I'm definitely rooting against Ohio State as we speak.
Jalen, we're going to get to basketball, back to basketball in a minute, but first I want to talk about this. You have recently given $100,000 to a hospital in the Congo. Update us. What's the hospital? What's the money going towards?
A 300-room hospital being built by Dikembe Mutombo, which is a great cause. I've seen this project come to fruition. I played with Mutombo for 2 years here in Denver. He's a great philanthropist as well as shot blocker and rebounder in person. And to be a part of a cause like that with my foundation, the Jalen Rose Foundation, who helps benefit underserved youth, it was a great marriage, and I'm privileged and I'm blessed to be a part of that.
It's a fabulous effort that you're making there, no doubt. Now, let's get back to the court. Your sons, 50 and 15, Jalen, but not the team people are talking about, even though you're 50 and 15. Everybody keeps talking about Dallas. What do you think about all that?
Well, at the end of the day, it's the regular season. Dallas is having an amazing season, just as is the Phoenix Suns, San Antonio Spurs, Utah Jazz, and the East, you have the Detroit Pistons, and a couple other teams that are playing well. Those teams that I mentioned, they're going to be rated and judged really by how they do in the playoffs. We're having an amazing season. I think Steve Nash is going to win his third straight MVP.
Well, Wednesday night, you guys beat Dallas in overtime, 129-127. Nash was just unbelievable. May have sealed up the MVP vote. Dirk Nowitzki was incredible. What was it like being part of that game?
It was amazing. It was definitely a playoff atmosphere. You know, all-stars on both ends of the floor trying to go at it. You know, two guys on the sidelines, and Mike D'Antoni and Avery Johnson, that have been Coach of the Year. And like you said about our style of play, the same was with Dallas. They've adopted a defensive philosophy. We're trying to adopt a defensive philosophy. So hopefully that philosophy, as far as being a running team that can play defense, will come up big in June, because I'd love to be wearing a championship ring this year.
It could be a repeat of Dallas and Phoenix in the Western Conference Finals. That sure would be fun to watch. Jalen, let's hit a couple emails real quick. Johnny in Las Vegas has one for you. It's Jalen, how does it feel to go from last year's worst basketball team, of course, in the Knicks, to this year's best and playing with Steve Nash?
Well, it's great. It makes you relevant playing on national TV, having the opportunity to legitimately win a championship. This being my 13th year, I played for championships on every level in high school, in college, and in the NBA in 2000. So to just be around championship aura is great. And hopefully I get a chance to play in June.
I don't know, Jalen, if you saw this last night. Kobe Bryant goes for 65 against the Blazers. He was 23 for 39. Now, Jalen, if you were Kobe's teammate, how would you feel about him taking 39 shots?
I'd be like, give him the ball more. The way he was playing yesterday was amazing. I think he outscored his teammates 65 to 51. So at that ratio, he probably needed to get the ball a little bit more. And they needed all of the points. He knocked down big-time threes. I mean, the way he tight-roped the sideline on that corner three-pointer kind of reminded me of what Sean Elliott did back in the day in the playoff game. So it was an amazing game, and I think Steve Nash is the MVP, but I think Kobe Bryant is the best player in the league.
Jalen, you're a great player in your own right, but do you ever just kind of find yourself watching Kobe Bryant and maybe having your jaw drop open just a little bit with some of the things he does?
You find yourself watching a lot of these guys. I feel the same way with Amari Stoudemire, LeBron James, Dwayne Wade. You know, the list goes on and on. This NBA is the best players in the world, and guys make plays that you won't see anywhere else, and they're so spontaneous and they happen so fast that you can't help but be in awe.
Mentioned this a little bit ago. You're a big college basketball fan. This, of course, the 15-year anniversary of Michigan's Fab Five run to the NCAA title game. Jalen Rose, Ray Jackson, Jimmy King, Chris Webber, Juwan Howard. We all know the names. But what do you remember most about that team, Jalen?
that we brought a personality, a style, and a flair to the game of NCAA basketball beyond just how we went out and won and worked hard, and we were pretty good students as well, but also our style, the big shorts, the black shoes, the black socks, and the camaraderie we had. Nowadays in sport, it's a me-first generation sometimes, where you won't see 4 McDonald's All-Americans, 5 All-Americans and all decide to go to the same school to try to make a difference. So that said a lot about the character of our team. And Steve Fisher, I'm pretty sure we gave him a few gray hairs because college coaches at this time of year rely on their juniors and seniors to really take it all the way there. And for him to rely on 5 freshmen really meant a lot to us, but it meant more to history. So we really thank him for that.
Jalen, of course, freshmen, high schoolers have to go play a year of college, or they just can't go to the NBA yet. College, obviously, the best option, the biggest option. As you've watched college basketball this season, what college freshman has impressed you the most?
Kevin Durant, he's amazing. I mean, the way he's putting up numbers in the Big 12, he's scoring the ball, he's rebounding the ball, he's knocking down three-pointers, he's going to the basket with athleticism. I really like his game. He's one of the college players that I've actually tuned in to watch in the past few years, and Greg Oden as well, being a center. Hopefully those guys can develop and become great pros.
Jalen, I know you've been busy today. You've been hanging out at the ESPN Zone. Don't know if you've even heard the news, but your alma mater, Michigan, according to widespread reports, has fired Tommy Amaker as head basketball coach. What are your thoughts?
We lost a scholar and a gentleman in Tommy Amaker. Unfortunately, he wasn't able to get the team, obviously, to the NCAA tournament or get it to the next level or competing for a Final Four or a national championship. But I really like Tommy. I felt like he needed another year or two to really get his true stamp on the team, and I hate to see him go. Hopefully, the guy we bring in is going to be able to do that for us, but those are going to be tough shoes to fill. You look at the wins and losses, and you think it's not a big loss, but Tommy Amaker's a great man, and I think that we took a big loss today as far as Michigan basketball is concerned.
Jalen, any thoughts down the road of perhaps coaching, maybe trying to get back to your alma mater in that fashion?
Yeah, that's something in my future, as well as doing broadcasting and playing a couple of more years. I'm trying to do it all, so we'll see what happens in the future, but I'm definitely intrigued by coaching as well as broadcasting.
Well, you've been so busy talking to us, perhaps you haven't noticed. Less than 3 minutes to go. Ohio State is down by 9. Jalen,
yes,
I know.
Yes.
I know you're enjoying it. Jalen Rose, thanks so much for the time, and best of luck tonight in Denver.
Thank you very much for having me. I'm about to eat some chicken wings as we speak.
Yum.